If you came from the village, the school was situated to the right of the large courtyard. It was so low that you could reach your arm up and pluck the blades of grass from the ceiling. There were no panes of glass in the window, and the lower parts of the walls were covered with old and tattered papyrus mats, which had been placed there as protection from the torrential rain. When they were struck by a guilty conscience, the small black children would creep in and hide behind these mats. If our school seemed primitive on the outside, the inside was not much better. An earthen floor, rough, crudely hewn benches without backs, a couple of large tables for writing, and a small desk and a chair for the teacher. Yes, that was about all that was there, apart from a map of the world and a few spelling charts on the walls. As protection against drafts, white cloth was nailed up to cover the window holes. But within these walls and beneath all the sweat, a lot of hard work was also being done in order to teach the astonished children of this black land about some of the hidden treasures of the world's wisdom. And light began to be shone onto things that had hitherto been unimaginable for them. With all haste, the world grew so vast for the listening children. It didn't end as they had previously thought, where the land met the ocean. Beyond the great waters lie wide expanses and other countries with people of other colors, white, yellow, and red, and with other tongues and other customs. There was a written language which could be used to exchange thoughts. There was a way of measuring time and a way of calculating how old one was. There were places on earth where it was so cold that you could walk on the water, and where the land was white with snow. They also learned about how the forces of nature could be used to serve man, and for the first time their ears heard such words as electricity, telegraph, and telephone. In the face of these things, we people of the Congo are as those who were born yesterday, was how they often expressed their amazement at this new world. The number of boys in the school could sometimes be as much as 80. Among them, there were many who, with great aptitude, combined a deep seriousness with tenacity, who thought very hard about what they had heard and seen. There were others, of course, who were lazy and slow, but who still kept attending, year in and year out. We often had in the same class boys of 7, together with young men aged 20 or more. In a land where nobody can read, a full-grown man is as equally lost as a small child when faced with the ABC. We could never find out the exact age of the pupils, as neither they nor anyone else knew how old they were. I remember what a great joy it was for the blacks when they first saw the calendar that had been drawn up by the missionaries, which would enable them to calculate the ages of the members of the generations to come. Some of the pupils were the sons of chiefs and free men, but perhaps most were slave children. It was good that these poor wretched slaves could, within our school walls, find some shelter, instead of having to fend for themselves in the cruel world of heathens. It is obvious that having so many pupils being taught by just one teacher would not provide them with a particularly thorough education. But when having returned to Sweden, one receives one letter after the other from former pupils, neatly and nicely written, and sometimes with handwriting so beautiful that many Swedish children could not write better, then it is clear that neither one's time nor effort were spent in vain. And when the letters confirm that the boys are still following the Savior they learned to know and love at school, my heart cries with joy. Even if the school at Mukimbungu at that time left much to be desired in terms of educational techniques and methodology, it can still be said that it fulfilled its primary purpose, to bring the young people of the Congo to Christ. There, Christianity was the primary subject, not a secondary subject. How wonderful that with words and conduct, heathen young people could be shown what Christianity is, and from whom it comes.